Power is rarely announced. It is not loud. It does not explain itself. In every room, there is someone speaking and someone being measured. The moment you open your mouth too much, you reveal how to be defeated. You think you are communicating. You think you are building connection. But to anyone who understands power, you are doing something far more dangerous. You are exposing your fears, your insecurities, your breaking points. The most dangerous person in the room is never the loudest. It is the one who watches, listens, and says nothing. Today, you will learn why silence is power and how your words have been betraying you. While most people rush to express their thoughts, justify their actions, and prove their value, a different figure operates in silence, observing patterns, weaknesses, and timing. Machiavelli understood this long before psychology gave it a name. He knew that dominance does not come from words, but from restraint. That the most dangerous person is not the one trying to be heard, but the one who withholds their voice. Because silence does something words never can. It conceals intention. It creates uncertainty, and it shifts control. Today, you will understand why silence is your most dangerous weapon, and how speaking less can give you more power than any argument ever could. Most people believe silence is passive. They think it means submission, fear, or lack of confidence. In reality, silence is one of the most aggressive forms of psychological control available to a human being. We live in a world that is terrified of quiet. Look around you. People fill every moment with noise, music, podcasts, notifications, small talk, opinions. Silence forces confrontation. When the noise stops, the mind speaks. And for most people, that internal voice is unbearable. So they talk, they overshare, they explain. They narrate their lives as if silence itself were a threat. But here is the paradox. The more you speak, the less you are heard. The more you explain yourself, the less you are respected. Machiavelli observed that people judge more by appearances than by truth. Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few understand what you are. When your words are constant, they lose value. Scarcity creates power. Silence creates scarcity. Think about how people treat those who speak endlessly. Their words blend into background noise. They become predictable, replaceable. But the person who speaks rarely, when they finally do, commands attention. The room leans in. Silence inflates the value of their voice. This is not charisma. This is economics. Now consider conflict. Think about the last argument you had. You felt the urge to explain, to defend yourself, to make them understand. You believed clarity would save you. Instead, your words were used against you. This is not accidental. Every word you speak reveals information, your fears, your desires, your emotional triggers, your limits. Machiavelli warned against exposing intention, because once someone knows what you want, they know how to manipulate you. Once they know what you fear, they know how to control you. Your mouth is the leak in your fortress. And most people never stop the leak. They widen it. Silence, on the other hand, seals the walls. There is a psychological phenomenon that occurs when you refuse to fill silence. Human interaction depends on feedback loops. I speak, you respond. I smile, you smile. When that loop breaks, anxiety begins. When you maintain eye contact and say nothing, when you offer no emotional signal, the other person starts to unravel. They wonder if they offended you, if you are judging them, if you know something they do not. And to relieve that discomfort, they begin to talk. They overshare. They clarify things you never questioned. They reveal truths they never intended to expose. Silence turns the other person into the speaker, and the speaker into the vulnerable one. Machiavelli advised rulers to let others show their cards first. Silence forces people to define the interaction. You become the judge. They become the defendant. This is why silence is devastating in negotiations. Imagine asking for something, a raise, a boundary, a decision. They respond with resistance. Most people panic and rush to justify themselves. The strategist stops talking. 5 seconds pass. Those seconds feel unbearable, not to you, but to them. Now they feel pressure. Now they negotiate against themselves. Silence shifts the dynamic from you seeking approval to them seeking resolution. This is weaponized silence, not passive, not weak, controlled. But silence requires discipline because it goes against social conditioning. You were raised to explain yourself, to be polite, to be agreeable, and that conditioning has a name: justify, argue, defend, explain, jad. Every time you jad, you hand authority to the other person. You imply that they have the right to judge you. A king does not justify his decisions. A general does not explain his orders. Strength stands on its own. I made a mistake. It won't happen again. That is power. Long explanations are scaffolding for weak structures. A building that stands needs no support beams. A collapsing one does. Silence signals structural integrity. Now understand this. Status is not declared. It is inferred. In every group, an invisible hierarchy is forming in real time. Low-status individuals rush to fill space. They laugh quickly. They speak nervously. They seek reassurance. High-status individuals do the opposite. They pause. They respond selectively. They allow discomfort to exist. Silence communicates abundance. It signals that you are not desperate for attention, validation, or approval. And the human mind interprets that as power. This applies not only to leadership, but to attraction. Over-communication kills tension. Mystery sustains interest. The person who speaks less is often the one others think about more. Machiavelli understood that uncertainty creates control. What is predictable can be managed. What is unpredictable commands respect. Silence is emotional armor. When you react instantly, you reveal your emotional landscape. People learn how to provoke you, how to flatter you, how to distract you. Silence denies them access. It creates opacity, and opacity creates safety. Now consider the modern world. We live in an age where noise is rewarded. Outrage is monetized. Oversharing is normalized. Silence becomes an act of rebellion. A silent person cannot be easily manipulated. They are not reactive. They are not predictable. Machiavelli would recognize this immediately. A distracted population is easy to govern. Silence restores autonomy. It also preserves energy. Talking is exhausting. Explaining drains you. Performing consumes your focus. How many times have you left a social interaction feeling depleted, not because of effort, but because of performance? Silence conserves energy. The quiet are not weak. They are efficient. Silence creates distance. Distance creates clarity. Clarity enables strategy. You cannot think while constantly reacting. Predictability is one of the greatest weaknesses a person can have. If others know exactly how you will respond, they own you. Silence breaks the cause and effect loop. Someone insults you. They expect anger. You give nothing. Now they are disoriented. They cannot orient themselves. They cannot decide how to act. This gap between stimulus and response is where control lives. That gap is silence. Most people are slaves to impulse. Reaction becomes reflex. The strategist inserts a pause. That pause terrifies manipulators, because manipulators rely on buttons, and silence removes the buttons. You become unreadable, unpredictable, untouchable. But silence is not the end state. It is preparation. Before action comes observation. Before speech comes calculation. Silence sharpens timing. When you finally act, after restraint, the impact is magnified. Few words, decisive movement. This is how power moves without resistance. So apply it. Pause before responding. Maintain a calm gaze. Stop narrating your life. Go dark. Let people wonder. Let them project strength onto you. Do not correct their assumptions. Do not shatter the illusion. The loud may get attention, but they never get the throne. The throne belongs to the one who can endure silence. Silence is your shield. It protects you. It confuses your enemy. Later, you will need a sword. But first, learn to be quiet, observe, plan, wait. If you are ready to stop being betrayed by your own words, subscribe. We do not shout here. We rule in silence.